Hey there, welcome to the channel. In this video, we're going to be using the powerful, popular Hermes agent to build out a custom script as well as an automated cron job, which runs every single day in order to grab my latest YouTube video and then automatically create a LinkedIn post and a newsletter and store it in a directory for me to easily turn around and post on LinkedIn. So if you don't know how to set up Hermes agent, all you have to do is come over to the website here, and you just have to run this one-line curl command in the terminal, and then you can do the Hermes setup, and you should be off to the races. I've already created a tutorial showing how to set this up, so feel free to check that out. First of all, I'm just going to run Hermes inside my directory, YouTube to LinkedIn. This is where we're going to be building the script, and I'm just going to give it a prompt down here. So I've already told it to create a script which automatically finds my latest video on YouTube and generates a complete detailed LinkedIn post and newsletter I can easily post. So now it's getting to work, and it's just asking to create the script. I need some details about your YouTube channel, so I'm going to need to provide the URL as well as the channel ID. So just going to paste in my URL, and I'm also going to paste in my channel ID, which is over here, right there. And now it should get to work building the script, and then later we can add that into a custom cron job which will run every single day. That's very, very easy to do over here inside the Hermes agent desktop app. And ultimately what I want this to do is to save me time so that I can just easily post the newsletter on LinkedIn and send it out to my 1,500 subscribers over here, so that I don't have to write the articles myself. I can just use Hermes agent to do all of this for me every time I post a new YouTube video, which lately has been every single day. So I've already got lots and lots of content to draw from, and now I just want to repurpose it for LinkedIn. After a few seconds, it is now getting to work creating the generate LinkedIn newsletter. This is a Python file which lives in this directory, and you can see it's gone ahead and written all of the code here. So this is essentially the script that we're going to be running in the cron job every single day. It's a relatively simple Python script, which looks like it's just grabbing the latest video using this get latest video function, and then it's generating the LinkedIn post over here. Now, I will need to make sure to tell it to use an AI model like Google Gemini in this case to create the post, but let's just see what it can come up with on its own. Then if I do need to give it an API key for Gemini or something, I can easily do that as well. And it pulled in my latest video, which is awesome. I didn't have to provide any sort of YouTube API key from Google Cloud Console or anything like that. It was just able to pull in the latest video, and it created the newsletter, which is just a very, very basic version to start, and also the LinkedIn post. And now it's saying to use this script, run it anytime to get your latest video, so you can run it from the terminal. In this case, I want to create my own cron job so that it runs every day, and I also want to tell it over here to use my Gemini API key to generate the posts. It's going to want to come over to Google AI Studio, aistudio.google.com, and then down to API keys and click on Create API Key, and then you'll just name your API key. In this case, I'm going to call it Hermes, and we'll add it to the build project, and then I'm just going to go ahead and create that API key and hand it over to Hermes. In this case, we're going to be using Gemini 1.5 Flash. I would actually like to upgrade that to like Gemini 3.1. So if I want to do that, I can just tell it to update the model, or I can just hard code it in over here. I don't think Gemini 1.5 Flash is going to be sufficient for writing LinkedIn newsletters, but we'll see what it comes up with. Since I'm having some issues with the Gemini API key, I'm just going to come over to ChatGPT. We're going to switch over to ChatGPT for creating the post, which should be just as good, if not better, than Gemini. So I'm just going to create a new key here. We're going to call it Hermes. I'm just going to tell it to use the OpenAI API key in the .env file instead, so it will switch over to ChatGPT for creating the newsletters and the LinkedIn posts. Okay, so now as you can see, it added the OpenAI API key has been found in the .env file alongside Gemini. So if I did want to switch back to Gemini at some point, I just need to set up my billing and fund my account with a certain amount, and then I can use Gemini for generating the posts. But for now, I think I'm just going to use OpenAI, which is just as good, if not better. We should see under projects output, it will have a complete detailed newsletter. And yeah, it's still not very good, unfortunately. But at least it is generating the post and the newsletter, which is definitely a step in the right direction. I've come over to Hermes and I just told it to switch to ChatGPT 5.4 for generating the post and the newsletter, and then I'm also going to feed it in a prompt as well, which I've generated over here inside Claude. So we could just go ahead and copy this prompt. Now I'm just going to switch to ChatGPT 5.4, and I've also provided it with the detailed prompt over here inside Claude to actually go ahead and write the LinkedIn post. So it should definitely improve the overall quality of these. And this is what it looks like. So they've got a version A and then also a version B for deep engagement, and this one's for maximum reach. Honestly, I don't really like the post that much. It doesn't look that great. So in this case, I'm just gonna cancel that out, and we're switching over to OpenCode, which honestly is a lot better than Hermes in a lot of ways. So we'll see what this can come up with. I've just told it to change the version to ChatGPT 5.4, and it's going to edit this Python script over here. So as you can see, that's exactly what it's done. Very, very quickly, much faster than inside Hermes. And it's also added the LinkedIn post requirements over here as well. So it's got the hook, it's got the body, insight, CTA, as well as hashtags. And the formatting rules, it says no em dashes, so that's pretty cool that it actually thought to add that in. It says no buzzwords like synergy, leverage, journey, hustle, game changing, crushing it, none of that. And then also write at a grade 8 reading level, smart words beat long words, optimal length 150 to 300 words, never exceeds 400 words. So now it says done. The script now uses 5.4 model instead of 4.0 mini, uses your exact LinkedIn Ghostwriter prompt with a 2-version output, A for reach and B for engagement. And I'm just going to run that script. As you can see, it's fetching the latest video from YouTube, and it pulled in my latest video and it generated the content with OpenAI API. But it does say here is an error generating the content. Unsupported parameter max tokens is not supported with this model. So if I want to fix this particular error, I could just copy this. We're going to paste that in, and that should be able to fix whatever's wrong with the Python script. Now it says it just changed max tokens to max completion tokens. So that should fix the problem. We're going to run the Python script again. So now if we pull up the LinkedIn post, that's definitely better. That definitely looks better than what Hermes was able to come up with. So we've got the version A optimized for reach, and then again we've also got the version B optimized for deep engagement. And I can tell right off the bat that this definitely looks better as a LinkedIn post. It says, I use Codex to redesign my site faster than most founders write the homepage copy. I build tools for content for YouTube creators so my site cannot just look nice. It has to explain the product fast. Creators bounce the second things feel vague. So that's the one for deep engagement. We've also got another one for reach. I redesign my website in minutes, not days. Most founders treat websites like a side quest. You tweak copy. It sounds kind of cheesy, but it is cool what it came up with. And then I also want to do the same for the newsletter. So I'm going to tell OpenCode to write the LinkedIn newsletter as well using a detailed prompt for engagement and reach. So as you can see here, it's reading the Python script and it's just going to add that in now as well. It now generates both the LinkedIn post, 2 versions, A for reach and B for engagement. And then also the newsletter with a detailed edition with 3 subject line options, pre-header, hook, story, context, key takeaways, why it matters, action step, blah, 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 blah. It should have generated the post as well as the newsletter. It should be longer than this. Over here I could say the newsletter should be a minimum of 1,500 words because this is not long enough for a newsletter on LinkedIn. It was able to create this complete detailed LinkedIn newsletter, which is obviously over 1,500 words from my YouTube video transcript. Pretty cool. And now that the Python script is working correctly, the last step that I want to add in here is actually adding this to its own cron job, which is going to run over here inside Hermes. And sure enough, that's exactly what it's doing now. It's preparing the cron job and it's creating the YouTube to LinkedIn daily cron job. So now if I come back over here, if I refresh this, we should see it appear in the list over here. And sure enough, there it is, YouTube to LinkedIn daily, and it's active. And we can go ahead and run it right now if we want to, once this is finished. I'm going to do a Hermes cron list. And that's going to show all of my active cron jobs. This one is actually having a runtime error because I've exceeded my API limit, but you can see here, this is the YouTube to LinkedIn daily cron, And it says right here the script that it's running. So it's just going to get my latest YouTube video, which will be this one once I upload it tomorrow. And then we can create a LinkedIn post and a newsletter from the content that I've already created, which is ultimately going to save me more time. Now, the only other thing that I would want to update over here is to use unique file names for the files and dot output with date before the dot text. So I just want to append the date so that it doesn't keep overwriting the files. So I have a continually running log of all of my newsletters and posts inside this directory over here. And that way I'll just be able to build a long list of posts that I can create anytime I want on LinkedIn. So it's just modifying the file now. And it says output files now use the date stamp names like this and this. So now I'm going to run the script again, and it should generate those new files over here. And there we go. So now we have the newsletter and the post with the correct date at the end. If we go ahead and open that up for the newsletter, it's going to be 1,500 words, over 1,500 words once again. And then what I can do now is I could just copy and paste this newsletter. And I can come over here to my LinkedIn newsletter, and I'm just going to create a new edition, and we're just going to paste that in over here. Now, obviously, it needs some editing, but overall, that looks pretty good. I would need to fix up the formatting a bit as well. It's definitely a good start, and then I can also add my YouTube video at the bottom of this newsletter and send it out to my 1,500 subscribers easily. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please go ahead and check out my website if you would like to work together with me. I help people save time and cut costs without hiring a full dev team. The website is now live, and you can book a call with me on here. It's completely free. You'll just have to fill out some basic information and then book your call on the calendar. With that being said, thank you so much for watching this video. Please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Take care, stay safe. Peace from Thailand. I will see you in the next one. Signing off.